Hello friends, we are not employed by a FAANG company, so let's not stop lead coding till we get there. Today we are going to do palindromic substrings lead code problem, and if we see some of the companies where I want to get a job who have already asked this question, there are companies like Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, Google, Microsoft, Uber, Goldman Sachs, Apple, Bloomberg and LinkedIn. So that's why I'm paying my utmost attention. I hope you also enjoy the video. So this is a lead code medium problem, and basically we are given a string s and we need to return the number of palindromic substrings that exist inside this given string s. Lucky for us, we are given the definition that what a palindrome is. Basically a palindrome is a string that reads the same from backwards and frontwards. So suppose we are given a string like this GG. If we read it from the backwards or frontwards, in both the cases the answer remains the same. Also one more example, ABA. This is also an example of palindrome because in either case we read it, the answer remains the same. Now a quick question for you guys, that whether this character B, is this an example of a palindrome or not? And the answer is yes, this is also a palindrome. Why? Because if we read it from the left and also read it from the right, we get the same result. But if we are given a string that looks like this AB, this is not a palindrome because if we read it from the left and from the right, the answer is not the same. So these are some of the examples of a palindrome. We are also given the definition of a substring, but I don't think that it is necessary to define. It is actually pretty trivial. Now let's try to understand this problem with an example. Suppose we are given a string S that looks like the CABA. Now in this case, we need to find that what are the number of palindromic substrings that exist. So we can clearly see that we have a palindromic substring that are these four characters are actually palindrome in itself, because as I mentioned earlier over here, that even a single character is also a palindrome in itself. So we already have four palindromic substrings so far. But if we notice over here, we also have one more palindrome, that is this ABA, and that is also a palindromic substrings, which means that in this case we need to return 5 as our answer, that we can actually make 5 palindromic substrings for this given string S, and this is what we need to return. So let's see that what would be the different approaches to solve this problem. Suppose this is the S we are given and we need to find that what would be the brute force solution for this problem. Well, we have to understand that we need to find all the existing palindromic substrings that are present inside this given string S, which means we need to find the substrings. So what we can do is we will make all the possible substrings that we can make from this given S, and then we will check that whether that substring is a palindrome or not, and simply we will get our desired answer. So if we see that in action, for this particular string, we can actually make substrings that looks like these. So these are all the substrings that we can make from this given string S. Now all we have to do is check that whether any given string is a palindrome or not, and in this case we will find that these four strings are palindromes, and also this string is a palindrome. All the other strings are not palindromes, and then in the end we can return 5 as the answer for this problem, and that would be a valid answer for this problem. But what is the issue with the brute force approach? Well, the issue with the brute force approach is that the time complexity in this case is actually going to be big O of n cube. Why n cube? Because it takes n square time just to make these substrings, and then it takes n time to check whether a substring is a palindrome or not. So cumulatively this is a very bad time complexity, and we will have to find a better approach. So before we move for the optimal solution, first of all we'll have to build some intuition behind it, that how to identify a palindrome. Well, in the palindrome there could be two possibilities. The palindrome could be of odd length or it could be of even length. First let's see that what would be the scenario in the odd length. So suppose we are given this character O. This is a palindrome in itself. We have already identified that, because if we read it from left or right, we get the same result, right? Now if I decide to add two more characters XOXX at the edges, this still remains the palindrome, which means that because both of these x's were same, and this middle value was a palindrome in itself, this whole thing actually became a palindrome. Again, if I take it even further, if I add two more characters BB, again this whole thing still remains a palindrome. And if I keep on adding same values, as long as they are same, this will always remain the palindrome. But the moment I add a value that likes A and B, now this whole thing is not a palindrome because these two values are different. But this portion is still a palindrome, and also the smaller portion still remains the palindrome, which means we can define that the palindromes are like an onion, where the middle value remains the same, and because of the middle values, all the other subsequent values where the values are actually same, the palindromic property is sustained. Why I'm giving so much explanation for that is you will see it in the optimal solution. And in the odd cases, we only have one value as the middle character, but inside the even character, suppose we are given a value like BB. So this is a palindrome in itself, and both values are same. Because both values are same, this is an even length and this is an even length palindrome. Now again I decide to add two more characters XX. Because they both are same, this still remains the palindrome. Again I add value AA, this is also palindrome. But the moment I add a value that is different, like X and Y, now this whole thing is not a palindrome, but this middle portion still remains a palindrome. So that is the important property, that in case of odd length, we have a middle character of the palindrome that is a single character, and all the other characters has the same value. In case of the even length palindrome, we have two characters that are same. So that is important, two characters, they are both same, and then all the other characters, they are also same as well, and a smaller palindrome is forming a larger palindrome. And let's see that how can we use this property to find an optimal solution. So suppose this is the example we are given and we need to find the optimal solution for that. The idea is that at any given character, we are actually going to see that whether could this be a middle of any palindrome, and if it is the middle of the palindrome, we are going to keep on expanding our palindromic search and we are going to keep adding our answer result. First of all, let's see for this character number C, that can this C be part of any middle of the palindromic substring or not. Well, we already know that this C is a substring in itself, because if we read it from left or right, we get the same result. And we are also going to have a variable called answer, so initial value was 0. Now because this C, because the C is a palindrome in itself, we are going to add the value to our answer as well. Now we are going to see that whether the C is a middle of the palindrome or not, which is not. Why? Because if we see the left of the string and right of the C, this is actually a null value and this is A, which means both are not same. So because both are not same, this is not part of any middle of the substring. Now we are going to have this value A. Again we are going to repeat the same process. Well, A is a palindrome in itself, so we are going to add the value to our answer first of all, so this becomes 2. Now again we are going to check that whether this A is the middle of any palindrome or not. We also have to check for both the cases that could this be of odd length palindrome or an even length palindrome. So for odd length palindrome, like the both left and right value would be same, and for even length palindrome, the value would be same with that itself. So first of all, we are going to check with this A. So the left value is C and right value is actually B. So both are not same. Also, they are not same of this A and B, which means this is not an odd length palindrome and even length palindrome. So we are good to go. Now we will move on to the next value B. Now this next value B is a palindrome in itself. So we will update the value inside our answer to 3. After doing that, we are going to check that could this be the middle of any palindrome or not. So we will check the left and right value. Left value is A and right value is also A. So because these two are same, we can define that this B is actually part of the middle of the palindrome, which is of odd length, and we are going to keep on expanding our palindrome. So now this B, A, B, so sorry, now this ABA is also palindrome, so we will update our answer immediately. So answer becomes 4 now. Now again we will keep on expanding our palindrome. So if we do a left and right over here, the left value is C and right value is actually null. So these two are not same. Because these two are not same, we no longer have a palindrome, so we will break out of the loop. Now again we still have one more character left to check. So again we will check for this value number A. So A is a palindrome in itself. We will put the answer as 5. Then again we will check that whether this A is that a middle of any palindromic string or not. So we check left and right value. Left value is B and right value is actually null, which means these two are not same and they're not same of this A as well. So immediately we will break out of the loop and we can return, and the next value over here is actually null, which means we don't have anything. We have reached to the end of the string. So this is the answer we need to return in this case, that 5 would be the answer and we will return that. Let's see one more example S, where we will find the even length palindrome. So over here again we are going to repeat the same process. So first of all, we'll take this character number C. Can this C be part of any middle of the substring or not? So this is not part of any middle of the substring, and we will have an answer variable. So first of all, we'll initialize it to 1 because C is a substring in itself. Now we'll move on to the next value A. So where A, if we check the left and right pointer, left is C and right is B. So these two are not same. So immediately A is also not the middle of any new palindrome, but it is a palindrome in itself. So again we will update the value to 2. Now again we are at this position number B. Now at this position number B, if we compare left and right values, so left value is A and right value is B. So these two are not same, but these two are actually same. So we can define this BB to be a middle of a palindrome, and this is the property we are going to use, right? And by the way, for this B, first of all we'll update the value to 3, and now we have this BB, that is a middle of the palindrome. Now immediately we will check the left and right value. So left value is A, right value is also A. Again, these two are same, so this is also palindrome, so we'll update our answer again. So this becomes 4. Now again we will check the left and right value over here. So left value is C and right value is actually null. So in this case, these two are not same. Because these two are not same, we will break out of the loop and we will say that, okay, so far we have found something decent. So right now again we are at this position number B. Now remember that this becomes a little bit tricky, that it becomes easy for us to, if we check over here, this left value is actually B and right value is A. So again these two are same, but we should not fall for this trap because we have already concluded this BB to be a middle of the palindrome. So we will not consider this one, and this is also not a palindrome, which means that the answer we will only update by 1, and that this value by itself is a palindrome. And at the end we will check for this value number A, and A is a palindrome in itself, so we'll update the value to be 6. But in the left and right there is nothing, so we won't do anything with that, and in the end we will return this answer 6 to be the final answer. And this is the solution we are going to use to find all the palindromic substrings inside any given string S. This is the final optimal solution. If we see the time and space complexity, in this case the time complexity is actually going to be big O of n square. Why n square? Because it takes us n time to iterate over all the values, and for any single value we might have to iterate over all the remaining values, so that takes n square time. But this is still a big improvement compared to our brute force approach, which had the n cube. If we see the space complexity, in this case the space complexity is actually going to be big O of n, because at any given point we might have to store all the values of n. First of all, we are going to initialize a variable called answer, and we are going to assign the value as 0. Now we are going to create a for loop and iterate over the given input. Now we have two possibilities. Any single character inside this given string S could be the middle value of any odd length palindrome or an even length palindrome. So we are actually going to make two calls to our check palindrome method, where we are going to return a value that whether this given string is a palindrome or not, and we are going to add that value to our answer variable. And inside this method we are going to pass the value of our string S, and we are also going to pass the character position of the middle variable. So the odd length palindrome would have the same middle value, so we will pass on that. And for even length we are going to pass two values. So over here we will pass I, and we will also pass I plus 1 to be the middle characters. Basically after we get out of this loop, we should have our answer ready, so we can simply return that. Now let's create this check palindrome method, and we will initialize a variable called count to count the number of palindromes we encounter. Now we are going to run a while loop, that while the left and right pointer are in bounds and not out of bounds, and while their character positions are same, so which means they satisfy to be the palindrome. If that is the case, we will keep on updating their values, and we will keep on adding our count variable, and in the end we will return the count variable. So let me quickly type that. So this condition defines that whether this given string is a valid palindrome or not. If that is the case, we will decrement the value of our left pointer, we will increment the value of our right pointer, and we will increment the value of our count variable. And once that is done, once we get out of this loop, we simply need to return the count variable, and that's it. So let's try to run this code. Okay, seems like our solution is working as expected. Let's submit this code. And our code runs pretty efficiently, and I would be posting this solution in the comments so you can check it out from there. Thank you.